trained fighters within the United States borders?
Well, Al-Qaeda says they trained and deployed 1,000 for this attack. First off, I think there's more than 1,000 Al-Qaeda members in the United States. But for the homeland attack, that number is based on what Al-Qaeda is saying, so they could exaggerate it. However, they did have about 1,400 in the Hamas attack, so the number is not off from what they did in the first round of attack. And they're not preparing America for this October 7th round of attack.
Guys heard anything about October 7th? Have you heard anything about the October 7th attacks? No, you haven't. They're not preparing anybody. And I've told you guys, and I've made these videos since June. Also, if you go and listen to the Denver airport lady, I posted her on my page too because everyone couldn't find that video, but listen to what she's saying and listen to what they plan on doing. They say that they have a weapon that America does not have, and they plan to bring America to its knees. They're not preparing us for this. They had warnings on 9/11 about the same thing, and none of it was taken seriously. None of it. So what do we do now? Just sit here with our thumbs tucked between our thighs and just wish for the best?
It's going to be a swarming. We think it's going to be a swarming attack, right? Multiple different attacks at one time across multiple cities. We think there will be suicide bombings just because some of the attackers went through suicide bomber training and they have these vests. And then we think there's these Fideian attackers who will carry on until they're killed.
You just rephrase that. So these guys are trained and they are going to fight until they're killed.
Yes, and that matters, right? So I was watching this video and it was a suicide bombing in Kabul years ago. The bomber blew up and then everyone starts moving in. The first responders move in, right? And then another guy walks in and blows up. We know this is a tactic. But if Americans don't understand this is a tactic and don't understand these attackers are going to fight to the death, think about that. Battle's going on. The attacker surrenders. He might have the suicide vest. You know, we let our guard down. That man came to die, right? He's going to fight till he dies or you die. So we can't let our guards down, and they know our weakness. So we have to be very careful that we don't have more people die in these second and third order effects of not knowing their intent.
That is why I have very big news, and this is scary. If you have not heard about what's coming for October, the gist of it is that during this government shutdown, our government and our military may have dropped the ball on a huge security risk, because not only one, but 3 reputable sources have told me that there is an attack, a huge threat planned for October 7th. And the details that I've heard is that there has been some kind of sleeper agent or sleeper cell group that has been dormant in the United States for a while. We've all heard that, we all know about that. But what we didn't know is that apparently these agents are set to attack major cities in the United States coming October 7th. We are trying to understand the credibility of this plan, but this is scary. Stay alert, stay safe, because our government is distracted. They are shut down right now.
Shalom. I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rakak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect, and much respect to the brothers pushing his word in the four winds of the earth. And shalom to you few sincere sisters out there as well. This is Brother Ariel coming at you with another lesson. Now, I don't want you to, dig into this too deeply, but something could potentially happen. So I seen these videos, so I figured I might as well bring it out to warn the flock, the brotherhood. Even though, a lot of these attacks that have happened, okay, they usually happen unawares, where people are caught off guard. That's when the attack is more effective. So that's why I'm saying don't look too much into it, but it could potentially happen. And it would be like a perfect storm because of what's going on with ICE right now. People are starting to battle against ICE. The government is shut down. This would be a perfect time for the so-called powers that be to have a terrorist attack happen here in the United States, okay, to bring in martial law. And this would definitely be a perfect time to have something like that happen, so they could shut everything down. Because ultimately, this is what they want. They want to bring that chaos so that they can, bring the order, Okay, and that order would be, of course, that MOTB. Lord willing, that comes very shortly, but we'll have to wait and see. But you know, these devils are, and this could be another psyop as far as you know, ICE going after the Latinos and the so-called blacks. It could be another psyop to keep people busy with that. All right. Meanwhile, these other, like I mentioned yesterday, these other immigrants that came over here from these other nations are not even being talked about, are not being sought after at all. And those could be the ones that, you know, are definitely, they're mercenaries, man. A lot of them are military age. Most of them that came over here were men, okay, of military age. All right. Like I said, you know, like we've all said, they've been brought over here for a purpose. And we might see that purpose on Tuesday. We'll just have to wait and see. So this is Ephesians 5 and 15. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. And be not drunk with wine, wherein excess, but be filled with the Spirit. Okay? So now is the time to be circumspect, right? We're going to get that in the etymology, which just says be cautious or wary, literally looking around on all sides. Okay? Deliberate, guarded, well considered, okay? To look around, to take heed, right? It says here, circum, the word forming element meaning around, roundabout, all around, on all sides. And that's what circumspect means, okay? Circum meaning a circle, right? Meaning around. Inspect, okay? Meaning your eye, okay? Or to observe. You observe with your eyes. Meaning what? Look around, okay? So keep your head on a swivel, okay? Because something potentially could happen. Let's get 1 Peter 5th chapter. And I'm gonna read I'll just read 6 through 8. All right, where it says, humble yourselves therefore under the mighty hand of the Heavenly Father, that he may exalt you in due time, and casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Salakia. Okay, I read it again. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Okay, and those that are be devoured will be the ones that are caught off guard and not paying attention to their surroundings. All right, so we definitely in a time where anything can pop off in any place at any time. Okay, so you know things are really going to start getting real dangerous out here, man. So this is not the time to be around, you know, large crowds, large gatherings. You know, even a movie theater or you know a party or what have you, a club or you know this is not the time for that. This is really the time to stay to yourself and not be around a large group of people, because you never know where these quote unquote attacks could happen. Okay, but we know through the Spirit that they are going to come, and we know through the Spirit that they're going to be set up by the opposition, which are the so-called elites, okay, the top banking families of the world, okay, the wicked that the Bible speaks of. So yeah, this is definitely time to be vigilant. All right, we're going to look that word up too. Okay. Okay, and it says watchful, anxious, or careful. To watch, keep awake, not to sleep, be watchful. Okay, awake. To be strong, be lively. Okay. Yeah, be in them times, man. And keep your eyes open, keep your head on a swivel, And, you know, just watch what's going on around you, man. Because things are about to take a turn for the worse. Shalom.